A very good evening. From stories around the world to stories here at home, this is the National News broadcast. I'm Vidushni Sadish Kumar.
Good evening, I'm Clifford Richards. First of all, we take a look at the headlines.
A stock of heroin and ice worth 2,100 million rupees seized. An anchorage built at a cost of 379 million rupees in Tangol. Several areas will be isolated from 5 a.m. tomorrow. Several other areas have been removed from the isolation list. South Ossa chairman requests the opposition not to damage the reputation of public servants. Former Chief of Defence Staff says Easter Sunday attacks had been conducted under a supervision of a foreign group.
We now move on to the stories in detail. Officers of the Excise Department have taken into custody 100 kilograms of heroin valuing 2,100 million rupees and 100 kilograms of ice at Chilau, Thoduava area. It is the biggest stock of ice seized recently and the biggest stock of drugs taken into custody at once by the Excise Department in its history. The drugs have been found as a result of a lengthy investigation on information received by intelligence unit of the Excise Department. They have taken the drugs into custody when it had been prepared to be transported. 4 persons have been taken into custody on suspicion. Excise officials seized 2 motor cars, a van, 2 lorries that have been prepared to transport the drugs. The stock of heroin is worth 1,200 million rupees. Ice is valued more than 900 million rupees. The drugs have been brought down from Dubai. Commissioner General of Excise Aryadas Bodhargama said that the President and the Prime Minister gave instructions to establish an intelligence unit at the Excise Department. He said that information received after about 1 month of setting up a unit, after conducting investigations for about 1.5 months, the suspects were arrested following information found during that time. An individual in Dubai conducts the racket and his agents in the country transport and supply drugs. He said that the racket had been conducted using boom trucks and an empty generator. The racket has been conducted for a long time. Ice has been sent to one person and heroin to another person. He added that the drugs are brought to one place after packing them in several other places.
Constructions of Rupavahini fisheries anchorage commenced today under the patronage of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. The constructions will be completed in 1 year. The proposed anchorage is located between Tangol and Hambantota Fisheries Harbour. It is consisted of a 300-metre breakwater, 75-metre sand breaker and entry canal for naval movement. It will provide livelihood for more than 1,500 people and be facilitated about 70 multi-day trawlers. 379 million rupees has been estimated for the project. The Prime Minister also handed over 75,000 rupees and a boat, each for 26 fishermen who were affected due to the fire at Kalamatia Fisheries Harbour. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa said that the country has the ability to develop the fishing industry, to provide fish needed by the people and to earn foreign exchange. He said that the country earns a large amount of income through the fisheries industry. He said that the government took steps to develop infrastructure after coming into power. He said the President has paid his attention on all these matters. The Prime Minister said that the fisheries housing program has been launched to provide necessary facilities for the fishing community. He said that high-rise of housing complex program was launched for the fisheries community. They were launched at Moratua, Ambalangoda, Waligama, Sinigama and Mutual. Minister Douglas Devanand has been appointed to meet the needs of the fisheries community in the north who had been affected by the 30-year-old war. The Prime Minister said that a state minister has been appointed to look after the needs of the south.
සීනි මොහොතට මේ මාස වැඩපිළිවෙල අපි ආරම්භ කරලා ඒවා ලබා දුන්නා. උතුරේ ජනතාව අවුරුදු 30ක් යුද්ධයකින් බැට කාලා තිබිච්ච ජනතාව. ඒ ජනතාවගේ අවශ්‍යතාවයන් ජීවරයාගේ අවශ්‍යතාවයන් කළ අපි ඩග්ලස් දේවානන්ද ඇමතිතුමා උතුර බලා ගන්නත් ඒ වගේම රාජ්‍ය ඇමතිවරයා දකුණු බලා ගන්නත් යොදවලා.
Constructions of Mawala Fisheries anchorage commenced today under the patronage of the Prime Minister. It will consist of a breakwater of 260 metres, two breakwaters at Akwarala and Entry Canal. 380 million rupees has been estimated for the project, which is scheduled to be completed in 15 months. A group of public representatives, including Ministers Douglas Devananda, Professor G.L. Piris, Nama Rajapaksa, Mahinda Amaravira and several state ministers were present on the occasion.
Several more areas will be isolated from 5 a.m. tomorrow. The Government Information Department also said that isolation status of several other areas has been lifted. Several areas in the Colombo district have been declared as isolated areas from 5 a.m. tomorrow. Accordingly, Hunupitiya Gramanidara Division and Slave Island Police Division, Hattewatta of Cinnamon Gardens Police Division and Kokila Road in Vellavatta Police Division will be isolated from 5 a.m. tomorrow. Blue Mandal Police Division and Vijayapura Gramanidara Division of Vellampitiya Police Division have been removed from the list of isolated areas. Mutuwal, Kotahena, Grand Pass, Adrupu Street, Dam Street, Keselwatta, Maligawatta, Dematagoda, Maradana Police Divisions and Wakanda Grama Nildari Division of Slale Island Police Division and Wanathamulla Grama Nildari Division of Borala Police Division and Salamulla Grama Nildari Division of Vellampitiya Police Division have been named as isolated areas. Savannah Housing Scheme, Randhya Uyana Housing Scheme of Mattakulia Police Division and the southern part of Ferguson Road will be continued to be isolated. 10 Gramanidara divisions of Wattala, Paliyagoda and Kiribatgoda police divisions of the Gampa district have been made isolated from 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. Keravalapitti of the Wattala police division, Hekitta, Kurunduhena, Avarivatta and Valikadamulla Gramanidara divisions and also the Paliyagoda Watta and that's of the Paliyagoda police division and Paliyagoda Gangabada, Meghavatta and Pattiya North Gramanidara divisions, Vellagoda North Gramanidara Division of the Kiribatgoda Police Division have been declared as isolated areas from 5 a.m. tomorrow. Meanwhile, isolation have been removed from the other Gramanidara divisions of Wattala and Paliyagoda Police Divisions and Kalaniya Police Division.
The Ministry of Health says that the number of fully recovered COVID-19 patients has exceeded 20,460. Another batch of 370 fully cured corona patients has left the hospitals today. Another 26 COVID-19 patients who have been recovered from the disease were discharged from COVID-19 treatment centres in the Polonnaru district. They were residents of Colombo, Kurunegala and Anuradhapura districts. 3,458 fully cured COVID-19 patients were discharged from hospitals in the past week alone. The group that left today includes 370 individuals. Percentage of fully cured COVID-19 patients has increased to 74.16. 25.35% of COVID-19 patients are continuously receiving treatment. As a number, this amounts to 6,993. 362 COVID-19 patients were identified today. All of them were close associates of the patients of the Paliyagoda cluster. The other 77 have been reported from the prison cluster. The number of totally cured patients released today was at 370. 13,741 PCR tests have been conducted in the island yesterday. The total number of PCR tests conducted so far in the country stands at 950,914. The Government Medical Officers Association says that there is more possibility of a smoker getting infected with COVID-19 than a person who does not smoke. A school teacher in Bogawantalawa, her 4-month-old infant and the 5-year-old daughter have been infected with COVID-19. Since the infected teacher has been reported for duty on 2 days at Norwood Tamil Mahavidyalaya, the school will be closed temporarily from tomorrow. Muskelia Medical Health Officer's office said that her contacts will be sent for PCR tests. Travel restrictions have been imposed from yesterday to Ambagamua Valley Oyavatta, lower section of Dandukalevatta, and the health authorities have isolated lower section of the Bogawana Linstead Estate. 25 infected persons have been found yesterday from the lower Dandukale of Valio Estate. 16 patients have been found from the same area yesterday. 8 infected individuals were found from the lower area of Bogawana, Linstead Estate. Steps have been taken to temporarily close gem business places at Ambagahayata, Shavia Mawata and in front of Clock Tower in Ratnapura town. Kandy Regional Health Services Director's Office said that 18 COVID patients were found yesterday from the Kandy district and only 6 patients reported on the 4th. Kandy Regional Director of Health Services, Dr. Senaka Talagala, said that rumours stating that there were 100 to 200 patients reported during those days are false. People at 9 Grama Seva divisions of Bandaragama area that has been isolated were provided with dry rations today. It was given with the participation of Chief Organizer of Bandaragama, Sri Lanka Pudujana Peramuna, Lalit Ellavala. The government has spent more than 20 million rupees to provide dry rations to 4,033 families. Meanwhile, 7 COVID deaths were reported from the country yesterday. The Director General of Health Services said that the deaths have been reported from Bandaragama, Colombo, Valikada Prison, Dematagoda, Colombo 13 and Vallampitia areas. Another group of Sri Lankans arrived in the country. 331 of them arrived from United Arab Emirates, Doha, Qatar, Australia, Japan and Maldives. They were subjected to PCR tests at the airport and sent for quarantine. It has been mandatory to conduct PCR tests on all passengers leaving from the Colombo Bandaranaike International Airport. Accordingly, Sri Lankan Airlines says that they should undergo the tests before 72 hours of their departure time. State Minister Dilum Amanugama says that 2 buses will run for 1 turn instead of 1 bus as earlier from tomorrow. Well, on other stories, Chief Epidemiologist Dr. Sudat Samarvida says that measures have been taken to release inmates in remand custody for minor offences on bail in a bid to reduce the increasing number of COVID-19 cases related to prisons in the country. Well, he further added that those individuals will be directed to a 14-day mandatory quarantine in their respective residences following their release, and he made these remarks at a media briefing held today.
In the prisons that we can see that there is some sort of increase of COVID-19 infection that is spreading, and to counteract that we have taken several measures that includes that thinning out the prison inmates, and also to that achieve this at the moment the things are made to release that on bail as much as possible prisoners that remand prisoners, and also to that release the prisoners that can be released with some sort of concession. So when these people are releasing, they will be subjected to PCR testing and a rapid antigen test, and will be identified all the patients at the time of release, and those patients will be admitted to a hospital or intermediate care center, and they will be treated and will be released back to their home only after they were cured. Those who are not testing negative at the time of testing or at the time of releasing will be sent to their home by informing the area police and also to the medical officer of health and the public health inspector, and to monitor the quarantine at their own residences. So when they are undergoing the home quarantine, there is no risk that the COVID-19 can be spread if by chance those people are COVID positive patients to spread into the community. So with that, this is a very good measure that we have taken to stop this transmission of COVID-19 within the prisons, and also to ensure that those who are releasing from the prisons will not spread the disease to the society.
Well, that's a local update of COVID situation. Now we are moving on to the global update with regard to COVID-19.
Well, Chairman of Lanka Satasa Nishad Pereira has requested the opposition not to damage the reputation of public servants and to obstruct their duties. Well, he mentioned that in connection with a statement given in Parliament recently by MP Anurakumara Dissanayake. MP Anurakumara Dissanayake said that there was 9,000 metric tons of sugar and it was released. He said that it was given to a friend of Satasa chairman.
එළියට දැම්මට පස්සේ සත සභාපතිවරයා ඔහුගේ මිත්‍රයා තමයි මේ සීනි තොගේ ගෙනාවේ.
මේ සීනි මිලදී ගැනීමේදී මේ අමාත්‍ය
Chairman of Lanka Satisunishad Perera said that the president has never pressured to purchase food out of the tender procedure. He requested not to level accusations against the chairman and officials who work hard according to the Vistas of Prosperity program.
මේ තුන්දෙනාට අමතරව තවත් තාක්ෂණික කමිටුවකුත් තියෙනවා. මේ තාක්ෂණික කමිටුවේ සිටි
Former Minister T.B. Ekanayake passed away this morning. He was 66 years at the time of his demise. Late Mr. Ekanayake is an old boy of Kurunegala Malayadeva College. He entered active politics in 1977, representing the Lanka Samasamaj Party for the Yapahawa electoral division. He joined the Sri Lanka Freedom Party on an invitation from the late Prime Minister Sirimao Bandaranaike. He won the Northwestern Provincial Council election in 1992 and thereafter contested the general election in 1994. He was a frontline activist of governments led by the SLFP, which defeated the United National Party. Late Mr. Ekanayake held several ministerial portfolios including highways, road development, public administration, education, culture and arts and lands as well. He has rendered a yeoman service to the people in the Kurunegala district. He was respected by all politicians. He passed away this morning while undergoing treatment at a private hospital in Kurunegala. His funeral will be held on Wednesday at 3 p.m. at the Mahava Digana grounds.
The constructions of Sri Lanka's first and biggest wind power plant complex have been completed. It is situated at Mana, Nadukkuda area and named as Rupavahini. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa is scheduled to vest it with the public on Tuesday of this month. Accordingly, another 100 megawatts would be added to the national grid under several phases. The Mana Basin was named as Energy Generating Hub in 2014. Constructions of the wind power plant spread over 150 hectares commenced thereafter. The relevant cabinet paper was submitted by then President and present Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. The government's policy is to generate 70% of the power needed by the people by 2030 by renewable energy sources. The electricity from the wind power plant will be generated by a turbine built on a tower which is 90 meters in height. 30 such towers have been installed at the wind park. The electricity generated by those will be taken to the electricity transmission center through underground tunnels. 8 rupees have to be spent to generate 1 unit of electricity through this method. The amount through a diesel power plant is more than 40 rupees. When compared with power generated through water or fuel, this is a profitable source. The project is implemented by a Denmark company and it will be completed in less than 1 year. $200 million have been invested in the project, which can continuously generate electricity for 20 years. Although a diesel power plant releases 285,000 tons of carbon dioxide into the environment, a wind power plant will not discharge carbonic waste into the environment. The project has been implemented in Mana since wind is available during both monsoon seasons in the country. The Mana Basin is considered as a zone where immigrant birds enter the country. A radar system has been installed in the wind park after studying the movement. It is capable of stopping their wind fans at once when the birds enter and leave the country. Minister Dallas Alaperimas said that government has made several plans to implement more projects to generate renewable energy.
The police say that laws will be strictly implemented against those who drive vehicles at high speed in the night for fun, violating road rules. Police media spokesman DIG Ajit Rohan has said that parents should advise their children not to drive vehicles at high speed. The police media spokesman was expressing his views about the fatal motorcycle accident which took place at Moratua, Egodoyana recently. A pregnant mother, 2 girls in the ages of 1 year and 7 years met with the accident. The mother is undergoing treatment at the Colombo National Hospital with serious injuries. The bodies of the 2 children were brought to their home today. The funeral is scheduled to be held tomorrow at the cemetery of Corolavala St. Mary's Church. The 20-year-old youth who rode the motorcycle at high speed has been remanded. Social media has published videos of him riding the motorcycle at high speed. But the police say that operations have been launched to nab those who drive vehicles at high speed at night.
Well, former Chief of Defence Staff Admiral Vijay Gunaratne says that he believes that the Easter Sunday attack in the country were launched under full supervision of a foreign terrorist group. Giving evidence before the Presidential Commission to inquire into Easter Sunday attacks yesterday, he said that the attacks could not be prevented since intelligence information was not reported to relevant parties. Former Chief of Defence Staff Admiral Vijay Gunaratne appeared before the Presidential Commission to inquire into Easter Sunday attacks for the first time. Well, he said that Army Intelligence Unit has been deployed to look into Sahran Hashim since 2004. He said that the official who was appointed to look into Sahran Hashim later has been remanded for 5 years. The intelligence units were weakened. He said that he is on bail by trying to protect intelligence units. He pointed out that since the CID did not take correct action on incidents such as damaging Mavanala Buddha statue and killing of Vaunathy police officers and finding Vanathavillu explosives, attacks could not be prevented. He said that former director of the State Intelligence Service, Nilantha Jayawardena, did not inform that the commanders of 3 armed forces about the information he received on the 4th of April. He said that information has been received from India. He further said that if they had received the information, they could have asked the Indian Defence Secretary when he came to Sri Lanka on the 8th of April. Therefore, it is a major shortcoming of Mr. Nilantha Jayawardena not to inform the responsible official about the foreign intelligence information. Mr. Vijay Gunaratne said that none of the Army, Navy or Air Force commanders knew about the attack before the 20th of April. However, he said that there are enough communication network to inform them. He added that the former director of intelligence informed the persons above him, but he did not inform the officers at ground level. While giving evidence, he said that the attacks had not been planned in the country. The target of IS is clear in the series of attacks. A leader of a terrorist group will not commit suicide. He said Sahran is a follower who directed the attacks and he is not the leader. Giving evidence further, Mr. Vijay Gunaratne said that former Minister Rishad Batiuddin wanted to remove Seelawathura Navy camp, but they did not allow it. Meanwhile, the Presidential Commission yesterday inquired about the files sent to the Attorney General's Department by the Terrorist Investigation Division before the Easter Sunday attacks to get legal advice against Sahran Hashim and National Tawhid Jamaat organization. Deputy Solicitor General Azad Nawawi, who was the supervising officer of State Councillor Malik Aziz, who was in charge of the relevant file, gave evidence first. When asked by the Commission as to when the file was given to a Muslim officer, Deputy Solicitor General Azad Nawawi said they thought it was suitable to give it to a Muslim, since it is an Islamic situation. When asked whether the attacks could have been prevented if action was taken before 21st April 2017, he said that it cannot be accepted.
So we have a racing finish. That's the end of the news. Do enjoy the rest of the programs. Take care and good night.
Good night.